Very good morning. It's Malcolm Graham-Wood here at Core Finance doing another one of my CEO interviews, and I'm really delighted to say that Peter Levine, Chairman and CEO of President Energy, is with me today. Good morning, Peter.
Morning.
And you will remember that Peter was with me a few months ago, and since then he promised lots of things would happen, and he's delivered. So. But before we get into the sort of nitty-gritty of what you've been up to, Peter, there will be people who don't know that much about President. Would you want me to give me the sort of the high-flying look down at what it looks like in overall terms?
President, thanks, Graham, and thanks for the introduction. President is, for those who don't know, South American-centric company at this moment in time. We've got a little production in Louisiana, but it's free-flowing cash. But the main centre of focus is Argentina. And in Argentina, we've got real production. We've got over 2,000 barrels a day production of principally oil. And we have got exploration in Paraguay. We've got very significant exploration assets in Paraguay as well as in Argentina. But our main thrust, and why I'm here today, is to talk about the acquisition, which we've just made, of assets from Chevron, which is a very interesting acquisition, and provides us with momentum and, of course, profitable barrels and free cash.
Good. Before we get on to the acquisition, just give us a quick look at two things. First of all, at the moment, you're the only UK quoted sort of small medium cap that's actually in Argentina, and you've been there for a while, and it's beginning to look pretty exciting. What is it you see in this country and this geography so far other people haven't done?
Argentina's come of age. There are lots of other good countries in South America, but I've got to say that we are very happy to be what we consider to be the new hotspot in South America. Argentina had gone through a really bad patch, and that really bad patch related to the former president. Who was not liked by a lot of people and did a lot of things which were anti-competitive and anti-business. We've got a new president for the last 2 years. He's made major changes. They've issued sovereign debt. It's gone to a premium. We've got industry coming in from outside, and the oil industry is taking off. We've seen an influx of majors. We've now got Total, Statoil, Chevron, BP, Petronas, we've got the state company of YPF, we've also got Wintershall and Dow, some very, very serious companies coming in. And that's principally for the shale. And that is where our opportunity lies. This shale is in the Vaca Muerta, so-called dead cow. Having said that, that's in the Neuquen Basin, where our latest acquisition is. And as these companies are coming in and concentrating many billions on shale, we are concentrating on the crumbs from their table. These aren't real crumbs. I mean, effectively, we've bought the most profitable asset that Chevron had in Argentina simply because they wanted to concentrate on a $2 billion investment in shale. And we will continue doing that and continue focusing on it. We have now got momentum with what we've got. So in terms of Argentina, very much open for business, very much the place to be now in South America, and we're delighted to be in the right time, and it's the right place.
Excellent. And well, I mean, there's no doubt that it's obvious from what you just said, as well as the fact that there are so many other companies talking about going into Latin America in general, and Argentina in particular, that it's the most exciting place. And I've certainly felt I've been writing about it for some time. So tell us about the deal. I mean, I've read the notes and I've seen what you're up to. So before we go on to your announcement from this week, where you tell us what you're going to do with it, tell us what you bought.
What we bought is we bought 1,200 plus barrels of production. It's a great asset. It's 2 fields, one of which is shut in. And of course, one of our missions is to open up that other field. So that production is just came from one of the fields within the concession. We are allied with the province, which is very important. It's a lesson I learned a long time ago from my other companies. You always need to have relationship with the province. In Salta, where we've got Puesto, we've got a 35-year contract. And that 35-year contract is only because of our relations. Coming back to where we are now, we've got 10% of the concession with the provincial oil company. Very important. It acts as a roof, it acts as protection, and it acts as enhancement to go forward with other assets as well. So it's a great asset. The facilities and the kit are first class.
Right, Chevron. You wouldn't expect anything
They
less,
spent
would you?
millions on the facility. It's spanking clean. It's virtually brand new, and it's a delight to be there with the right people. We've got Chevron people already in our team helping us in Puesto Guardian. We're mobilising them back to this field. We've taken on more Chevron people, all operational. We don't load up on faff and hype in terms of G&A. Our G&A, as you know, we don't have an office here in London or in the UK, deliberately so. The concentration on is getting our cost base right, looking after the pennies, making sure the pounds will also then look after themselves, and then also concentrate on what is the most important thing, which is cash flow, positive cash flow, and profitability.
Excellent. Earlier in the week, you made an announcement about the work programme for this acquisition, and you said you were hitting the ground running, and you certainly are, because you only completed this acquisition a few weeks ago, and yet you're already talking about well programmes and so on. So why don't you talk us through what you're doing on Puesto Flores, is that right? And the other field, Estancia Vieja.
Estancia Vieja.
There we are. Tell us what you're doing there, because of course one or two comments in the announcement said that there were quite a lot of wells which aren't up and running at the moment, and you're opening up old wells. So tell us all about it.
The programme that we've got is a pilot programme we've got between now and the end of the year, and that is to open up shut-in wells and to test and this is the primary focus, to test intervals which have shown oil in the logs and develop those. Now, if they work, and it is an if, but we've got to test them because it is enticing what we see, because these are logs done by Chevron, not by ourselves, interpretation also done by Chevron, reinterpreted by ourselves. They show live oil, they show fluorescence in the cuttings, and Chevron quite understandably went for the main event. They went for the more contiguous zone. But if I put it in context, in one or two of the wells, the current production is from 6 metres of pay, whereas what we've seen is an accumulated net pay over several intervals and formations of 22 metres. So it's quite interesting, it's enticing, but until we actually get to it, it's impossible to say. If it works, it's really good news. If it isn't, don't worry, because we're actually reactivating shut-in wells. So we're getting to the point of hitting the ground running, because we have got this tangible asset which is producing, which is profitable, which is in the right address, and which, as I said to you, will act as a platform for later.
Excellent. And of course, I wrote in the blog that, I sort of picked up on your nuanced comments that Chevron had left quite a lot of the intervals, which you're there coming back to. And all being well, you'll have some production by the end of the year, by the sounds of the...
Additional production.
Yeah. I'll come back to the existing stuff, but what sort of initial production from what you just bought do you think you might be able to bring on?
I'm not going there.
Yeah. Fair enough. I mean, it's fair enough to say that, because you are only trying...
It's the first pilot programme, and we're
Yeah.
still feeling our way around. The fact is, unless you actually get there and start looking at it and lifting the hood up of the car and seeing what's under the bonnet, you're not actually going to understand fully.
Yeah. Now, you say that the capital expenditure for this programme is going to be funded out of existing cash flow, presumably that's across the whole of the business. Is that how you plan to do it, and for the time being, or your funds are obviously, you've plenty of money, so you've got no problem about doing that, but it's mainly from cash flow?
Yes.
You're hoping that...
yes, I mean, obviously, if you want to accelerate the CapEx programme, that's a different matter.
Yeah.
But our projections are that this will be funded. Our EBITDA is very significant.
Yeah.
We're looking at EBITDA next year of 27 million.
Yeah.
The following year, 40 million. The following year, substantially more than that. So that's on a 2p case. So, this is a philosophy which I've gotten... We've seen the market. I've been around too many years, as you know. And I've seen it all. I've seen the rises and the falls. I've seen the jockeys who come in and promote. And at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. We all go down cul-de-sacs.
Yeah.
But the bottom line here is, I believe the industry's changed. And I think it's changed fundamentally. It's not what can be developed in 5 years' time, or 6 years' time, or 7 years' time.
Yeah.
It's what's here and now. And it's actually what you're producing profitably now. It's margin game. It's like no other, it's just like the same as any other business. We might as well be making widgets. The bottom line is we have got to deliver profits now for our shareholders, as well as the prize of extra. And that prize of extra is, of course, our exploration. Still in Paraguay, and still in Argentina, and the actual offering is getting better as we're doing more work there.
Yeah.
But here, it's a matter of we need the base plate, the bread and butter on our table of making profits and positive cash.
Good. Now that sounds very, very positive. I'm going to come back to Paraguay and the rest of your existing stuff in a minute, but it sounds like there might be more deals to do in Argentina. This deal seems to have sort of doubled the size of the business in the space of one deal, but I presume you're not sort of letting the grass grow under your feet and stopping there. Are you looking for other deals, and are there other deals around?
Your presumption is correct, and yes and yes.
So, I mean, you still think that by the fact that there are so many super majors coming into town, particularly in the Vaca, that you'll find more of these sort of crumb-type deals for you to do, and will add on neatly to the business already?
I can truly say that for the first time in 1 or 2 years, I'm having fun.
People have been having fun. That sounds like good news, and good news for the investors as well, because it's been a quiet time and a difficult time last year, and I'm not going to get back to that. But what I would like to do is
you can go back to it.
Well, no, you're still in court.
No, go back to it. We deserve it. We deserve a spanking.
Right. So, tell me, what about the existing Argentine business? Your production there, and how's that all going in the what until this deal was the main part of your business?
That's going well. We did it on time, on budget for the workover. It was success. We opened up wells that hadn't been worked over before or hadn't been producing for 30 years. And so that was a success. What wasn't on time was the surface facilities. And it's very simple. It's actually not rocket science. We ordered pumps because we had a fixed amount of pumps. It was a centralised system. They weren't fit for the purpose. They're working on it. It's no one's fault. I'm not going to blame the suppliers of the pumps. These things happen. But the bottom line is there is a delay in getting it on stream, but we are operating profitably, and we will get there. But we've got to now make a critical decision. We have got more than one asset in Argentina. We're getting approximately $45 a barrel in one area, which is 1,400 kilometres from the areas where there are service contracts, companies. And we've got another area which is getting $55 a barrel, and it's 80 kilometres away from the service contracts. So we've got to spend our petrodollars to enhance the profitability as quickly and appropriately as possible. So for 2018, you will see us making those investments in the Neuquen Basin, whether it's organically or by way of acquisition. And Puesto will continue to do what it's doing. We will bring those other wells back into stream, and it will continue to do what it's doing now, making money and contributing to G&A.
Well, it couldn't ask for more than that. And I mean, do you think that the service companies have been a bit slow to catch up on the sophistication of the and the investment coming into the area, or I hear there are Chinese people in the service companies and so on. So are they catching? Are they playing catch up, or are they actually just taking a bit more time than they should do?
Service quality is catching up. But you've got the big boys there, and Schlumberger very much involved. You've got Halliburton involved. You've got Baker Hughes involved. So there are a lot of companies. But what is happening is there's going to be more choice, because the attraction, the magnet of these larger companies coming in will mean that there are more services and better quality services available. So you're absolutely right.
Good. I promised I'd have a word about Paraguay, because I remember when, what seems like quite a long time ago now, that you had a commitment well and you drilled it and it was there, and it looked like something to me that would need Exxon or Chevron or someone like that to come in as a partner because it's such a big potential, but difficult to operate. What's the situation in Paraguay, Peter?
We spent a lot of money in Paraguay, as you know. We spent
Yeah.
100 million in Paraguay in 2014. We've got first-class seismic, we've got 3D seismic, 2D seismic. We ourselves, when we were talking about Paraguay after we drilled the wells, we were upbeat. We thought, and we still consider, that to be a very prospective area. That view has only been enhanced because what we see now, having done further G&G studies,
Yeah.
done petrophysical work, and done remote sensing work, so the whole gamut of a science project, it has validated our proposition. So, in effect, what we're seeing now, and in the farm-out process, which, Malcolm, as you know, we're continuing with, we're seeing majors come in. We've got majors signed up to NDAs, that's non-disclosure agreements, majors in our physical data room, as well as in our virtual data room. We're seeing interest. Now, that's a long way from actually having a successful farm-out. So let's measure expectations here. But the bottom line is, it certainly raised our optimism in terms of a farm-out. But I will say this to you, that from a personal point of view, I'm optimistic about Paraguay. And one way or other, by hook or by crook, we're going to drill something in Paraguay in 2018.
Yes, I mean, I remember coming into, when you did have an office in London, because I think you've closed that now, and talking to you and your head geologist, or it was, and looking at the maps, and it does look pretty prospective, although there's not that much in country yet. So it would be sort of groundbreaking stuff, wouldn't it be, for Paraguay?
It would, and we're not going to leave that furrow unploughed.
Yeah. We're getting quite close to our allotted time. The sort of 15 or 17 minutes or whatever it is has gone very quickly. But I would like to sort of finish off by asking you a more detailed question. You've mentioned that you've made an acquisition and you've hit the ground running. You're going to be doing a lot of work on that. You've said that there are other deals around which might or might not be able to come to fruition. You've talked about increasing the size of the business organically and possibly by acquisition. So, where would you see President in a year or so's time? If you're trying to look at where you would, realistically expect the end of 2018 to see President, where do you think, if you come back in November or December next year and talk to me again, what do you think you'll be saying?
You're going to be naughty because you're going to replay that, aren't you? Next time?
You never know.
I think sometimes
you don't have to be more over-optimistic. You've been very realistic today, for which I'm very grateful. So, I'd love to hear what you not necessarily dreams or aspirations, but an idea of where you think it could be.
I'm talking about profit now. Right. I want to see 50 million EBITDA in 2018.
That sounds good. I mean, it's
I want to see it.
Yes.
Because I'm the large shareholder.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm sure shareholders want to see it. There's a lot of hard work to get there.
Yeah.
But we are probably 1 or 1.5 acquisitions from that. But let's not forget, I want to stress, whilst we're talking about acquisitions, the hardest part of any acquisition isn't making the acquisition. It's actually making the acquisition work.
Yeah.
And what we're doing is we're changing the structure of our organisation. We're having asset managers who are responsible for each particular asset. This is an adult way of doing things. It's the right way of doing things, and it's a big old way of doing things for a small company, as it were, as we still are. And so we are not going to neglect our base acquisitions as we're doing it. We're going to be depositing the right people to make sure those acquisitions work, and then we're going to move on. But that is my aspiration, yes. But that is not a target.
No, I understand.
I
won't pin you to it.
Absolutely not.
But what I would say is that with the EBITDA that you've got coming up in the next 6 months, plus what you're hoping for in the next 12 months, I think that the stock price is sort of criminally low, really. But it's a question of getting enough people on board to realise that that's the case, because I think this is one of the most undervalued stocks in the sector, and I think you're doing a great job for what it's worth. And I'd really like to thank you for coming in today and talking to us. It's been Peter Levine talking to me on my CEO interviews at Core Finance. Thank you very much indeed for coming in, Peter.
Malcolm, thank you.
Thank you.